Welcome, listeners, to another enlightening episode of the Dirty Money Diaries. I'm your host, Naomi Thompson, a retired detective with over 30 years of law enforcement experience. And today we're diving into a topic that sits at the intersection of crime fighting and justice: asset forfeiture, exploring its purpose and legal framework. Imagine a world where criminals not only face the consequences of their actions, but also lose the very fruits of their unlawful deeds. That's the essence of asset forfeiture. In this episode, we're peeling back the layers of this powerful tool that law enforcement agencies wield to dismantle criminal networks and create safer communities. Joining us today is a good friend and former co-worker, John Martinez. John is a former law enforcement officer turned legal consultant. John Martinez has firsthand experience with asset forfeiture cases. He brings practical insights into the challenges faced by law enforcement agencies, the decision-making process behind seizures, and the importance of striking a balance between justice and due process. Welcome to the podcast, John.
Thanks, Zama. It's a pleasure being here and talking about this crucial aspect of our legal system.
All right, John, hold up. We can't get into that story yet. The podcast listeners haven't heard it. I promise we'll get into it someday.
Okay, Naomi. I'll stop, but you have to bring me back on the show when you do tell the story.
Bet. Let's jump right in. I read a blog post that highlighted how asset forfeiture serves multiple purposes. Did you read it? If so, could you expand on that?
I did, and I'd be happy to. Asset forfeiture is a powerful tool that can be used to disrupt criminal networks and deter crime. It's not just about taking away criminals' ill-gotten gains. It's also about sending a strong message that crime doesn't pay. When criminals have their assets seized, it disrupts their financial resources and makes it harder for them to continue their illegal activities. This can have a significant impact on criminal operations, making it more difficult for them to recruit new members, purchase weapons, and transport drugs. In addition to disrupting criminal operations, asset forfeiture can also be used to support law enforcement initiatives, help victims, and contribute to community development. When used responsibly, the funds from seized assets can be used to fund drug treatment programs, build schools, and create jobs.
That's really interesting. It sounds like asset forfeiture can be a valuable tool for law enforcement.
It can be, but it's important to use it responsibly. Asset forfeiture should not be used as a way to punish innocent people or to generate revenue for law enforcement agencies. It should only be used to disrupt criminal activity and protect the public.
That's a powerful perspective. Now let's navigate the legal landscape of asset forfeiture. How does the legal framework ensure fairness while upholding the need to combat crime?
The legal framework of asset forfeiture is designed to strike a delicate balance. It typically requires law enforcement to establish probable cause that the assets in question are tied to criminal activity. This threshold ensures that seizures aren't arbitrary. Importantly, asset owners and interested parties are given a chance to challenge the forfeiture in court. This due process safeguards individual rights and allows evidence and arguments to be presented under the watchful eye of the judicial system.
It's reassuring to know that there are safeguards in place. So what are some of the challenges or concerns that arise in the context of asset forfeiture?
While asset forfeiture is a powerful tool, it's not without its controversies. One major concern is the potential for abuse or overreach, where innocent individuals or legitimate assets might be swept up in the process. Transparency, accountability, and ongoing reform efforts are vital to addressing these challenges and ensuring that asset forfeiture serves its intended purpose without infringing on rights.
You've touched upon a critical aspect of asset forfeiture that demands thoughtful consideration. The potential for abuse and unintended consequences cannot be understated. While asset forfeiture has the potential to disrupt criminal networks and cut off illicit funding, the risk of innocent individuals being adversely affected cannot be ignored. Transparency and accountability are indeed paramount in safeguarding against overreach. Striking the right balance between empowering law enforcement to combat crime and protecting the rights of individuals requires constant vigilance. As you rightly pointed out, ongoing reform efforts are a testament to our commitment to rectifying these concerns. In this evolving landscape, it's crucial for lawmakers, legal experts, law enforcement agencies, and civil society to work collaboratively. Through well-defined protocols, clear guidelines, and regular audits, We can foster a system that minimizes the risk of abuse while maximizing the potential benefits of asset forfeiture. The goal is to ensure that asset forfeiture remains a valuable tool in the pursuit of justice, all while upholding the principles of fairness and respect for individual rights.
Thanks, Naomi. This conversation reminds me of why we worked so well together.
As we wrap up, John, could you provide our listeners with some key takeaways from our discussion today?
Certainly. It's crucial to recognize that the concept of asset forfeiture extends far beyond the mere act of seizing assets. It embodies a multifaceted approach that involves disrupting the intricate web of criminal networks, thereby paving the way for the promotion of justice and the creation of stronger, more secure communities. By understanding this intricate legal landscape, we begin to grasp the careful considerations that go into each forfeiture decision. It's about weighing the scales of justice, where the goal is to strike a balance that upholds the greater good while respecting the fundamental rights of individuals. This perspective sheds light on the complexities that law enforcement, legal professionals, and policymakers navigate when dealing with asset forfeiture cases.
A heartfelt thank you, John, for gracing us with your insights and expertise today. Your willingness to dive into this intricate and controversial subject is truly commendable. To our cherished listeners, we extend our deepest gratitude for embarking on this enlightening expedition through the realms of asset forfeiture. Our hope is that this episode has stirred your curiosity and ignited thoughtful reflections. We eagerly invite you to join the conversation by sharing your questions and comments in the section below. Your engagement fuels the dialogue, and we're committed to addressing each query to the best of our ability. If you found this episode to be a valuable resource, we encourage you to spread the knowledge by sharing it with your circle of friends and family. Additionally, don't forget to show your support by liking this podcast and subscribing for more thought-provoking content. Your involvement truly makes a difference. Once again, a resounding thank you for tuning in. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned for more eye-opening episodes of the Dirty Money Diaries. Acknowledgement. I would like to acknowledge the use of artificial intelligence, AI, and voice synthesis technology in the creation of this podcast episode. The dialogue and voices you hear throughout the episode were generated with the assistance of AI. While AI contributes to the production process, it is important to note that the expertise and guidance of human professionals were involved in shaping the final content and ensuring its accuracy. We strive to provide engaging and informative discussions on topics related to justice and law enforcement. We believe that AI can be a valuable tool for creating educational content, but we also believe that it is important to be transparent about the role of AI in our production process.